550-1388.
His website says unlocking greatness and inspiring action, and I know firsthand that is exactly what Charlie Harary does. Charlie Harary is a prolific speaker, as I mentioned, travels, his website says around the country, but I know it's around the world. Charlie, welcome to Get Down to Business.
Thank you. It's great to be on. Thanks for having me.
Of course, Charlie. So you mentioned on your website, unlocking greatness and inspiring action. That is, I believe, what every entrepreneur sets out to do. But you help make that happen. Tell us what you see in successful people. Is there a recipe for success that our listeners might be able to put into action tomorrow morning when they get into their office?
Well, I think that's the million-dollar question. What is the recipe for success? I think there's a lot of recipes. I think as long as you're following a certain amount of steps, there's a lot of ways to go from ingredients to actually food that you can eat. But it really does start with a vision. I don't think there is an entrepreneur out there that doesn't have a vision, that sees what they want, or at least that sees what the next horizon is, and believes that they can get there. I remember I was reading a whole piece the other day about a venture capitalist who says he never invests in an entrepreneur that doesn't believe he's going to be successful more than everybody else does. And I think initially there's the belief in going somewhere. There's the knowledge that you can get there. And then I think the last piece is that an entrepreneur needs to have this relentless drive to, even though he's going to fail or she's going to fail and hit a wall and a wall and a wall. It's, there's something inside them that just keeps on pushing when everyone's giving up.
That's for sure. We all of us in business, we all hear the success stories. You look at an Apple, you look at a Facebook, but behind every one of those successes, there is a story. There's a person behind it. I love profiling those stories on our program every week. We get to meet so many entrepreneurs, people that have gone through the motions, people that have failed, and many of us have failed along the way. So, Charlie Harary, what's your story? You're a lawyer. You now travel the world. How did that come about?
Well, yeah, I'm not a lawyer anymore. I run a company that's called H3 & Co. We do advisory, we do investments and other startups. I spend a lot of time educating entrepreneurs. I teach in business school entrepreneurship because I think that's what you're doing is great because that's the point. It's sharing stories, it's learning together, it's trying to help each other get better every single day. And that's sort of a little bit whatever my story is that, wherever you are in life, you got to sort of see something new. I wanted to get more involved in certain areas in business, and it requires sort of jumping off the ledge a little bit and then having a lot of faith in the man upstairs and just keep on pushing till you get it.
What do you think the greatest challenge that many of the you mentioned students, you mentioned business students that students face in getting that motivation, that inspiration to take their ideas and turn it into a reality? Clarity.
Many students do not have clarity. Our education system is great for a lot of things, but it's not great for figuring out who we are. It's great for sort of giving us information and figuring out how to take information and, teach it to lots and lots of kids for as cheap as possible. But in terms of the ability for people to have self-reflection as to who I am, what I'm good at, what I like, it's lacking. And so you see students all the time, college and even adults, and they really don't know what they want. And so when you're not really clear what you want, when you're not really clear who you are, if you're just chasing the latest story on Forbes magazine, the latest idea, the latest guy in Shark Tank, you're just sort of running around in a circle, not really being you. And I think the lack of clarity that people have as to what I need to do or where I need to go, ultimately, that's where they lose that motivation, because when the going gets tough, they go, I don't think I even wanted it in the first place.
So true. Listeners of Get Down to Business, take heed. I tell this to friends and colleagues all the time. You can't expect people to know how they can help you. You have to be clear. You have to articulate who you are, what you do, and who you want to talk to. Whether you're looking for a job or you're running a business and you're trying to grow that business, be clear. Students, I think, are probably the biggest victim of that lack of clarity. So, Charlie, you travel all over the place. Where's your favorite place to visit?
I'd say Chicago, because that's where I know you guys are. Well, I love Chicago. I got to tell you, that's really the truth. There's a lot of great places. It's the people more than the place. We're really blessed with. There are great people out there. Of course, Israel is always a favorite to go to, but L.A., Chicago, Miami, wherever it is, I think that when you get to meet great people, you're always in a good spot, no matter where, whether you're in some little hotel somewhere or you're looking over some coast. enjoying the view.
That's for sure. And Charlie, you speak all over the place. Tell us about some of your upcoming engagements and programs that you're involved in, as well as how people can learn more about the work that you do, find out more of your clips and other words of advice.
Well, you can always go to charlieharary.com. We get a whole bunch of things going there. We've got the Ask Charlie show. It's a short video show that comes out every week. We've got a podcast on iTunes called Unlocking Greatness. I don't think 770 reaches to you guys, but we've got a show every Saturday night. And we've got an online show as well, a business show called The Boardroom. But, if you come to the website, we'd love to hear from you and figure out ways that we can be helpful together, which is what we're here for. And I'll be around in a couple places. I'm actually going to be in Chicago speaking for an organization called Ornava on the 1st, September 1st. I'll be in Chicago. But yeah, it's great what you're doing, and keep on doing what you're doing.
Thanks, Charlie. CharlieHarary.com. Charlie, we appreciate you joining us on the show. We'll have you back on. Would love to share your tips, advice, and information with our Chicago listeners, and Charlie will be in town over the next few weeks. Check out his podcast, all of his information, CharlieHarary.com. Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR, your solution center. Find them at tandemhr.com. I check out their website all the time, or you can call them 630-928-0510. You can also email them, simplify@tandemhr.com. Get Down to Business is also brought to you in part by our good friends at Everett Wealth Solutions, a registered investment advisor and financial planning firm, a fiduciary advisor that helps you create your personal wealth. You can find them at everettwealthsolutions.com. And coming up, I've got some tips for you small business owners and entrepreneurs on how to plan successful events. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You can download all of my podcasts at shalomklein.com, and we'll be posting some information about upcoming events, including this Tuesday's speed networking event in Skokie. Check it out, shalomklein.com. Don't touch that dial.
Hi there.